skilled and competent internal auditors places a capacity challenge to the industry. PricewaterhouseCoopers has now adopted the Institute of Internal Auditors two-year learnership program designed for graduates and entry-level internal auditors lacking practical experience. Dr. Claudelle van Eck is the CEO of the Institute of Internal Auditors South Africa. She's here to tell us more. Claudelle, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. So tell us a bit about the learnership program. How does it work?
Well, it's stretched over 2 years, the IAT, which we call the Internal Audit Technician. It's modular, so it's a combination of classroom training and on-the-job training.
Okay.
So what happens with each module is the trainee goes into the classroom for a couple of days, and they then need to go back into the workplace under supervision and implement what they've learned. They get assessed internally within the organization, and so you go from module to module. By the time they get to the end of the two-year program, they are then assessed by the Institute, and if they found as competent, they then confer the IAT status on them, Internal Audit Technician.
Okay, so the theory is done where? Is it an association with the university, or where is it conducted?
By the time they get into the program, they should already have a degree.
Okay. In what?
The majority of them go through the BCom,
Okay.
but we have a number of universities and universities of technology that now offer internal audit as well. So our preference would be that they go through that process.
Okay.
They come into the learnership, but as I said, there is the classroom training where they do get some of the theoretical background. Not everybody comes in the BCom route. Somebody may have come the IAT route, for example, and they want to specialize in IAT as an internal auditor. The classroom training would then give them the background, so we would teach them about the standards and make sure that they understand the standards. You can't do internal auditing without having a good comprehension of the standards. And then the implementation in the job place. It's a combination of the theory in the classroom, the teaching happens there, but then they actually physically need to go and do the work in the workplace.
Why is it significant about PricewaterhouseCoopers? Is this the first really big breakthrough for the program?
It is. I wouldn't say the first really big breakthrough. What's significant with the PwC learnership is that they're not just looking at bringing people into the PwC to skill people for PwC. The idea is to, once they get through the program, to release them by specifically training for the public sector. And that is where our greatest need is in terms of competent internal auditors. So here is an example of private sector working with government to upskill and to build capacity.
Okay. What is the capacity in terms of number of learners that can be taken in for the two-year program?
Well, we prefer per group. We have a lot of different groups running across the country. Per group, 20 to 25.
Okay.
And the reason for that is when they go into the classroom training, we don't want too big a class because they can't interact.
Yeah.
The facilitator needs to give them real individual attention.
Yeah.
But we run concurrent groups all the time.
Yeah. Just in terms of the quality of the program, I mean, quality control, how do you ensure that when they come out, you don't have industry saying, we've got these people who are qualified, but really, they don't meet with our standards,
Yes.
and they don't fulfill our expectations.
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the two-year learnership, is there some kind of guarantee of employment?
Normally, the majority of them are already employed within the organization. Guarantee, well, you can't give any guarantees to anybody, but the person who's come through the program certainly is in a much better position. They are more skilled. If one looks at the feedback that we've received so far, has really been very, very good feedback. The trainees have gone through the program are much stronger than those who haven't. But how do we ensure quality? There's a combination of factors. Number one, we have a serious group of senior people who look at the program to make sure that the content is what it needs to be. We quality assure around the presenters, the facilitators in the program. We have internal assessors within the organization which we have to vet. And then there is the external assessment. And the assessors that are being used are vetted by the Institute, so they've got to go through a training program as well.
Okay. What is the cost per trainee?
For the IIT, it depends where they are in the country because there may be some travel costs involved for the presenters. The highest amount is 18,000 Rand over the 2 years.
Okay. Who pays for it?
The employer pays for it, but the employer then claims the money back from the seater.
Okay.
So effectively, there is no real cost for the employer.
Okay. The trainees, somebody listening to our conversation who's got a BSc and thinking, well, this may be an interesting route to follow. What can they do? Where can they get more information?
They can contact the institute.
Okay.
We can put them in touch with organizations who have already adopted the program. There are a lot of organizations, both in the private and in the public sector.
Okay. Where do they contact the institute? What's your website address?
The website is www.iia, S for sugar A, .org.za.
Okay, IISA.
Yes.
.org.za.
Correct.
Okay, that's where you can get more detail from about the training program, or if you'd like to contact the Institute of Internal Auditors as well. Claudelle, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us this morning. Claudelle van Eck is CEO of the Institute of Internal Auditors. You're watching Morning Live on SABC2. Now, you may remember yesterday we were talking about a Japanese trawler that